Imagine if a poor young man had been accepted into an art school and pursued his dream of becoming a painter. Perhaps the world would never have known Adolf Hitler as the most controversial dictator in history. But fate had other plans. Before he was known as the leader of the Nazis, before World War II erupted, Hitler was just a young man with one dream: to become a great artist. But one failure changed everything. In the early 20th century, a teenager named Adolf Hitler left his hometown of Braunau in Austria and moved to Vienna. He carried one great hope: to be accepted into the Academy of Fine Arts Vienna and become a renowned painter. Hitler believed he had talent. Since childhood, he had loved drawing buildings and landscapes, creating sketches with great precision. He spent most of his time painting rather than studying in school. But there was one problem. He had no backup plan. For Hitler, there was only one path: art. When he took the Academy's entrance exam, he submitted his portfolio with confidence. But the result was disappointing. He was rejected. The jury acknowledged his skill in architectural drawing but found his ability to depict human figures, an essential element of classical art, lacking. Believing it was just a minor setback, Hitler tried again the following year. But the outcome was the same: he was rejected once more. And this time, the rejection was final. Being rejected by the Academy of Fine Arts Vienna was a devastating blow. He lost his sense of direction. The dream he had chased for years crumbled in an instant. In despair, Hitler remained in Vienna, hoping to prove the judges wrong. He began painting and selling postcards and small artworks on the streets just to afford food. But life in Vienna was not easy for a young man without stable employment. He lived in homeless shelters, slept in cramped and cold spaces, and mingled with the destitute who struggled to survive. It was during this time that his mindset began to change. Amid his hardships, he started blaming others for his failures. He saw Vienna as a city full of diverse ethnic groups and began to believe that Jews and other communities were responsible for the economic and cultural decline he perceived. This belief grew stronger as he read books and pamphlets promoting conspiracy theories. In those dark and squalid places, the seeds of his hatred began to take root. In 1914, World War I broke out. For many, war meant destruction. But for Hitler, it was an opportunity to find new purpose in life. He joined the German army and served as a courier on the battlefield. Repeatedly, he risked his life, running through gunfire to deliver messages to the front lines. Fighting for Germany gave him something he had long lacked: a sense of belonging. He was no longer a failed artist, but a soldier fighting for his nation. However, when the war ended in 1918, Germany was defeated. And for Hitler, this defeat was unacceptable. He believed that Germany had not lost on the battlefield but had been betrayed from within, by politicians, by Jews, by those he saw as weakening the German nation. That anger led him down a darker path. After the war, Hitler returned to Germany, but the country was no longer the same. The economy had collapsed, people were starving, and new ideologies were emerging. Amid the chaos, he found a new stage: politics. He began attending nationalist group meetings, speaking with fiery passion, spreading the idea that Germany could rise again if it rid itself of its enemies. His speeches captivated many. With a powerful voice, he convinced people that Germany must reclaim its pride, that they needed a strong leader to restore their former glory, and that he was the one who could lead them there. In a short time, he rose to power. The Nazi Party, once a small movement, grew into a massive force, and by 1933, Hitler had become the Chancellor of Germany. From a failed artist, he had now become the leader of a nation. History is often shaped by small decisions. What if Hitler had been accepted into the Academy of Fine Arts? What if he had become a painter instead of a politician? Perhaps the world would never have witnessed the horrors of World War II. There would be no Holocaust, no millions of lives lost due to his policies. But history took its own course. This story teaches us that failure does not always lead to a better path. Sometimes, failure that is not accepted with resilience can give birth to dangerous ambitions. For more fascinating stories about world leaders, don't forget to follow Secrets of World History. Join our journey as we uncover unforgettable stories that will change your perspective on history.